swoops on the crown, a massive basket.
3. You are kidding me.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the 4th time.
Round 11 of the Cygnett. Ben Waterworth with you alongside former Capitals and Boomers guard and now one of the sharpest basketball coaching minds in the country, Zoe Carr. Hello, Zoe. We're set for an intriguing afternoon in Bendigo.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. As you said, both teams desperate for a win and both with two different game plans and playing styles. So it'll be great to watch and see how they implement that throughout the game.
A bit of motivation today for the Bendigo Spirit to try and get the victory for Casey Samuels, who's playing her 150th WNBL game in her 9th WNBL season for her 5th WNBL team. She has been around this league for a while and is having a really good season this season. Yeah,
I think this has been a bit of a breakout season for her. Her ability to come off the bench, knock down the open three, you know, add that extra spark and energy, guard bigger if she needs to. It's just been massive for the Spirit. So hopefully they can string it together tonight and be able to get the win for her in her milestone game.
Yeah, she scored in 10 of the 12 games so far this season, so they'll be wanting a fair bit from her tonight, the Bendigo Spirit. Let's have a look at the WNBL ladder, how it sits ahead of the first game of round 11. Attention on the starting five of any lineup, but I suppose we want to focus on someone coming off the bench today, and as she has done for most of the season, Alicia Froling. She's having, particularly in the last fortnight as well, a big impact for the Bendigo Spirit.
Yeah, definitely. It's something we talk about with all our young athletes that we work with in development, of this obsession with I have to start to be able to contribute and to be one of the best players. Well, Alicia Froling is showing you exactly why that is not the case. She has been massive for the Spirit, and she's done it coming off the bench. Yeah,
we'll have a look at Alicia right throughout the game when she comes onto the court. As we turn our attention to the Adelaide Lightning, coached by Nat Hurst, another tough second season for Nat Hurst. But I suppose it's interesting to note as well that Lauren Mansfield, who didn't play against Perth last game due to back soreness, she is playing tonight, but she'll be coming off the bench, and if she catches fire, watch out.
Yeah, and I think, you know, yes, it's been a bit of a tough season in terms of win-losses, but I'd still say that they're more on the win side, but in a different way. They're a super young lineup, and especially when Mansfield is out of the lineup, they are a young lineup and they are building something for the future. So if they can keep the core group together, they'll be a great team to watch.
Last time these two sides met, Lauren Mansfield knocked down a lazy 28 points as well. So she has form against the Bendigo Spirit. Shout out here to Vanessa Devlin, who's on your screen right now. Vanessa becomes just the 7th female to referee 100 games in the WNBL. She's one of the most well-respected referees in the country. She's been part of the Asia Cup and Commonwealth Games setups as well. Olympic 3-on-3 referee. South Australian Official of the Year twice as well. So congratulations to Vanessa. A special moment for her and her family. And now big game is underway between the Bendigo Spirit and the Adelaide Lightning from Red Energy Arena. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the globe for this one. The Spirit and the Lightning. The Spirit have already won both games so far this season between the two sides. So they have the split, but Adelaide looking to try and get the first turnover here, and hopefully that leads can kickstart them. A lovely alley-oop pass from Borlase to Turner.
And already within the first 2 possessions, you're seeing the contrasting game styles. You're seeing a slower, work the ball around, use your experience and your size from the Bendigo Spirit, and you're seeing playing in pace and using your youth from Adelaide Lightning.
2 distinct game styles we'll be keeping our eye on right throughout the afternoon. Davis was able to reply with the left-hand reverse on that occasion. Here's Bourne, who is in some hot form at the moment. Willoughby goes to work, gets the screen from Turner, and Willoughby hits it all net.
It's a great way to attack that drops coverage on the on-ball screen. So as the defender of the screener drops off and tries to protect the basket, that mid-range pull-up, and I know there's been a lot of talk about the mid-range pull-up being dead. It's never been dead in women's basketball. We've got to make sure we focus on that.
Here's a look for Griffin, her first look for 3. But another offensive rebound for Davis, almost picked away there by the Lightning, but it will be a Bendigo ball because Turner stepped out of bounds. And this is the thing about Bree Turner. A lot of focus on her rebounding, but her ability to read the play, and both low to the floor, but also up high with her blocking and her stealing. She's amongst the top players in the comp statistically this season in both of those categories.
Absolutely. I'd love to see her wingspan. She uses her length better than anyone.
Griffin for Ali Wilson, who has 4 to shoot. Tough shot. Good defensive set there from the Lightning. They can have a look here on a fast break. Bourne steps back inside, is fouled, and will head to the line to shoot 2.
And just a great way to run the floor. Bourne did an outstanding job. She got out early, occupied the front of the rim, and then was able to make a play out of it and get herself to the line. It's one of the greatest ways to get yourself into a game, is to get yourself easy points at the line, see the ball go through the net, and then, build your confidence for them once your shots start to come throughout offense. Really
interesting you mentioned that, because in her first 6 games this year, Izzy Bourne was averaging just 1 free throw attempt, but in her last 9 games, 3.5 free throw attempts as well. So we're almost seeing her development or her inside game. A lovely pass inside there for Ali Wilson. But that's, I think, a big reason why Izzy Bourne has taken her game to another level in recent days.
Yeah, definitely. And as we said, it's just a nice calming for a young player to be able to get to the line early.
We just saw Brazel pass there to Willoughby. Brazel getting the start with Mansfield coming off the bench. And a big improver for Adelaide this season. Borlase misses the long-range attempt, and Griffin brings down the rebound. Wilson passing again inside for Davis, looking to try and make the most of that mismatch. And Davis says, thanks, I'll bank my second field goal.
If you're Izzy Bourne, though, you're probably okay with that. She did a great job of pushing Davis out of the paint and made it difficult for her. So, probably got to try and get her out a little bit further. Easier said while I'm sitting up here watching rather than on floor doing it. But, try and push her out that little bit further to extend that range a little bit more because of the height difference.
13 centimetres between Davis and Bourne. So we've already seen the Spirit try to make the most of Davis early. Davis screaming for it down low, heads in that direction. The double team comes, well played, Willoughby. And the Lightning force it out of bounds, but we did see Jocelyn Willoughby coming in there to try and lend some support.
Yeah, and it's an obvious game plan here to try and use that size and get the ball inside early. Adelaide are now making adjustments to that, and they're helping strong off the weak side. So that's got to be a pass fake into the post and then skip it to the open shooter. That's what Bendigo have in spades.
Griffin coming up with the basket. Spirit out to an 8-6 lead here. The Spirit are in the midst of 6 games in 15 days at the moment. It's a heavy, heavy schedule for Kennedy Kerryama and his side. Here's Ali Wilson, again trying to use some pace up the floor. Kelly Wilson. And the lob pass comes in for Davis. And terrific work from the Spirit as Crocker hits her first field goal. Consecutive baskets for Bendigo. Beautiful pass inside. Blink and you would have missed it from Turner. Borlase got it on a platter.
But on the other side, that is an outstanding pass. But the way Borlase cut off that pin down, turned the corner and was able to change her pace, go from slow to explosively fast, is what got her open.
That's probably why she was pick 12 in the ESPN WNBA mock draft recently is that she's got the outside game, but then you think about that explosiveness on the inside as well.
Absolutely. And anyone smaller she can take into the paint. It's like what I spoke about the other week with Sarah Blicavs. Bola is a nightmare matchup in this league.
So now this is Meryn Crocker at the free throw line. She's a 62% free throw shooter. The Spirit, actually not one of the best free throw shooters in the WNBL this season, but Crocker's had 2 big games against Adelaide this season, 16 points and 20 points. And across those 2 games, averaged a 47% from beyond the arc. So she has caught fire against Adelaide this season. Bourne thought about the triple attempt. Works her way inside, takes on Griffin. Look at the confidence. And able to draw the contact and will head to the line as well. And that's the 2nd foul as well. 4 minutes into this game on Kelsey Griffin.
Yeah, and that's going to be a bit of a problem for the Spirit. She's the engine room for this group, and you know, with her high IQ, her high skill set, and her ability to impact everywhere across the floor. So it's going to be interesting to see when she does re-enter the game. Do Adelaide go at her and try and get her to pick up her 3rd? And when does Bendigo decide to bring her back into the game?
Early conundrum. Alicia Froling on the floor. Great hustle from Willoughby. And now Bourne makes amends, or almost made amends with a triple attempt. Willoughby again keeping it alive. So well played, Jocelyn Willoughby. Right place, right time. Brazel for Borlase from the car park. Missed out, and it's the Spirit still holding that 12-6 advantage. They get away with one there, Bendigo. So last time these 2 sides met in Geelong, it did go to overtime as well. It's where Lauren Mansfield really caught fire with that season-high 28 points. Samuels in game 150. What a way to start.
And that's the impact we spoke about before at the start of the game, of her ability to just come off the bench and knock down open threes. That changes the way Lightning are going to have to defend that handoff.
Almost a second alley-oop there for Turner. Bourne followed up from the offensive rebound, missed it. Great tap there from Turner to give a 3rd opportunity here for the Adelaide Lightning. Willoughby goes to work. Long 2 attempts is too deep. Alicia Froling brings down her 1st rebound of the game.
The Spirit are going to have to be careful. Adelaide haven't penalised them yet on those offensive boards, but it will come. So they need to really make sure they lock that down, hold them to 1 possession.
Oh, Ali Wilson found a way through and laid it in. Pretty play.
Ali Wilson has taken her game to the next level over the last couple of weeks. She's really embraced the playing in the 2 with the start of Kelly Wilson, taking over the point guard role for the start of games, and being able to be a little bit more focused on scoring rather than, you know, running the show and trying to facilitate offense, which has been great for the Spirit.
Lovely pass inside for Werung, who was fouled. She's just come off the bench, Abby Werung, and she will head to the charity stripe to shoot 2. I don't know, both you and I, Zoe, are big fans of Abby Werung.
Absolutely, an absolute superstar basketballer, but an even better person. So it's great to see her be able to come off the bench and have an impact early. But where she does most of her damage is at the defensive end.
Yeah.
Her ability to lock players down is one of the best in the league. So if she goes to Borlase at any stage, it'll be interesting to see that matchup.
Able to connect there from the free throw line. Spirit holding an 18-11 lead. Foul off the ball called there. The 3rd team foul on the Spirit. Kelly Wilson will check back in for Bendigo in game number 444 in the WNBL.
Here's a little trivia for you.
Yes.
I played in her 1st WNBL game.
Surely not. So
Yeah, with the AIS, yep. That's how old I am.
Here she is bringing the ball up the floor. And Samuels pulls the
Feeling
trigger.
it.
Oh, my word. Delivering off the bench microwave style, Casey Samuels. Continuing her excellent form in this Cygnett WNBL season. Spirit with a game-high 10-point lead. Things need to change here for the Lightning. Let's get some luck going. Mansfield is on the floor. And there's a foul called. Alicia Froling just favouring her left eye there, I think. She may have been called for the foul, though. Here's Samuels. Devastating from downtown.
And again, that's going to have to adjust the way that they guard that dribble handoff, because that's twice in a row now she's been able to pull up and knock that down.
Willoughby gets a look from deep two. That one doesn't come off, and Mansfield can't bring down the rebound.
And that's well defended by Alicia Froling. She doesn't want to come out and switch onto that because of the speed mismatch, but she met Willoughby at the level. So where she tried to pull up and shoot the mid-range jump shot, she was there to be able to contest it.
Timeout called here, a much needed one for Nat Hurst and the Adelaide Lightning, with the Spirit leading 23-11. This timeout is brought to you by Cygnett. Every day in Australia, 57 people are diagnosed with breast cancer. So as part of Cygnett's partnership with the McGrath Foundation, Cygnett are donating $57 for every three-pointer scored over the entire round to the McGrath Foundation. So that's a great initiative there from Cygnett, supporting the McGrath Foundation, and Casey Samuels might force Cygnett to cough up a fair bit of money, considering her early shooting form as well. But as you look at some early scorers, Samuels already up to the 5 points as well. If you Nat Hurst in this situation, it's a young Lightning team. They're on the road on a Wednesday afternoon. I suppose what's the thinking from Nat Hurst's perspective here, Zoe?
Well, at the moment, they've got it from a defensive perspective. They've got to start and be more proactive. They're allowing Spirit to wander into their offense, get themselves comfortable, move the ball with ease, and find their open looks. They've got to be a little bit more aggressive. Yes, it's a risk, and sometimes it will backfire. Teams will score. That will happen. But they've just got to be, just that little bit more proactive. From the offensive end, they've allowed the Spirit to slow them down. So now that they're not really playing their style, which has been playing in pace. So they need to try and get back to that as best as possible.
So 7 minutes into this game, and the Spirit already have 7 individual scorers. That's their strength off the bench. Samuels leading all comers with 5. Feeds Kelly Wilson. Froling wants it. It's going to go out, though, to Werung from the corner.
And that's that pass fake, just that little head nod from Wilson into Froling, which drew in the defense and were able to skip it to the open shooter.
We know how deadly Abby Werung can be from deep as well. Mansfield tries to float it in. And a big, strong rebound from Samuels, with Bendigo leading by 15 points. What a start this has been from the Spirit. McKenna Dale getting some early minutes as well for Bendigo, as Samuels trying to put up the deep two. It's
no.
Tapped it straight back to Samuels. Can you believe it? Lauren Mansfield kept it in, gave it straight to Samuels, who got her 3rd field goal of the night.
That's a bit of a coach killer, that one. That's against all the rules. If you're not throwing it back direct to one of your players, just let it go out of bounds.
Probably sums up the Lightning's first quarter. Tough attempt on that occasion from Basham. But somehow dropped. Much needed for Adelaide.
And from the Spirit on those 2 possessions, that pull-up jump shot over a contested hand that goes in, you'll wear that.
Oh, yeah.
And you look to go, if they're going to beat you shooting shots like that all game, the hoops gods were never going to let you win that game in the first place. But then to push the ball, and yes, it's resulted in a turnover, but again, they're turnovers that you'll wear because you've put pressure on Adelaide Lightning's D-Trans, which takes away from their ability to put pressure on their offensive glass, because they're always worried about you looking to run and play in pace.
Brazel for Bourne. Basham again after that two-pointer, almost travelled on that occasion, trying to pass off. 6 to shoot here for the Lightning. Davis up high, sends it back over the baseline.
And 4 seconds on the shot clock here, so Spirit have to make sure they lock down and know that a early shot's coming.
There's the early shot, and there it drops again from Brooke Basham. So she's come off the bench and had an immediate impact as well. Only just averages to 7 minutes per game. The minutes have been valuable early on in this first quarter. Ali Wilson kicks it out. Abby's feeling it.
And I like the defensive, on-ball screen defensive change-up from the Spirit. They've gone to an ice coverage, which is basically not allowing the screen to happen and trying to force them baseline. The problem with that is the on-ball defender didn't climb in hard enough and didn't force Ellie Wilson to go baseline, so she was able to get feet in the paint to the middle of the floor where the defender of the screener isn't there to help, and then that draws the weak side defender wide open catch and shoot three. So great execution from the Spirit, but a minor adjustment that the Lightning need to make.
And Werung as well as 2 for 2 from deep. Spirit a 31-point first quarter. Can they make it 33 here through Davis? Yes, she can. Hot start at Red Energy Arena. Prayer is put up, and the Spirit making an early statement. Bendigo 33, Adelaide 15 at quarter time.
Use that momentum and power you've created to explode out on your first dribble. Okay, we've got 2 more. 1.
Sometimes as women, we look for perfection as opposed to execution.
Well, work ethic is important when the players are 40 years younger than you.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Red Energy Arena, where Bendigo have brought ample energy. Casey Samuels lit the fuse with a couple of early buckets. Adelaide tried to respond, but everything just went Bendigo's way from halfway through the first quarter onwards. Some daggers hit by Samuels. Then Abby Werung from her favourite corner was all net. And it's given Bendigo at quarter time a 33-15 lead. It's Bendigo's best first quarter of the season. And Zoe Carr, Coach Kennedy Kerryama, couldn't be much happier since at that quarter time huddle.
Absolutely. To have 17 bench points in the first quarter is enormous. But one of the things that the Lightning need to stay with at the moment, Bendigo are currently shooting at 68%. So whilst that's a part of that is because they're shots that they want and shots that they like, because their execution has been fantastic, it's also, you know, you start to think as the game rolls on, that generally is a trend, that field goal percentage tends to drop.
Yep.
And that's when you start to see your ability to get yourselves back into the game. And we've seen Adelaide throughout this season come back from deficits like this. So they just need to be a little more proactive defensively and try and push Bendigo out of their comfort zone and not allow them to just find their open opportunities.
Yeah, 8 points for Abby Werung, 7 for Casey Samuels off the bench, as well as a 2-pointer from Alicia Froling, and Ruth Davis as well. Good start for her. 3 of 4 from the field in that opening quarter. So all set now for the commencement of the second quarter. Bendigo leading 33-15. Kelly Wilson driving baseline, teasing us all. Kicks it out. Long attempt from McGoldrick, and she joins the bench point party.
I mean, you watch Kelly Wilson play and you think, oh my goodness, she's been in the league for so long and she's still got it. Like her ability to get feet in the paint, play through what we call the Nash zone, which is underneath the basket, so going from one side to the other, and then finding the open player that's able to then just knock it down. It's still elite.
Gee, very dangerous signs here. Adelaide miss at the other end. Ali Wilson will now go to the free throw line, and Bendigo already leading by 21 points at the start of the second quarter. You mentioned how Ali Wilson had taken her game to another level. It's been a big 2023 in particular for Ali Wilson. We know about the Com Games bronze medal in the 3x3 in the last couple of years, rather. Asia Cup 3x3 gold. She played with Marina Whittle and Annalie Maley and Lauren Mansfield, who's out on the floor as well. And game number 217, but still seeming to get in better with every game she plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's in the best shape of her life as well. And she's just flourished at the Spirit over these last 2 seasons. So hopefully it's something that continues for her, because as you can see again, she's doing it at the defensive end too. So her ability to just score, her vision, all of those things have been massive for the Spirit. And if she can continue it, it's a big part of if they can start to string those games together.
Basham again. My goodness, she's put her team on her back, trying to carry her team. Off the bench, Brooke Basham, she's hit 2 field goals. And now she hits another one with a free throw to come as well. Some big minutes here from 25-year-old Brooke Basham in game number 48 in the WNBL. Off target with that free throw attempt. She's got a team-high 6 points. She's only been averaging 1 point per game for the entire season. Here's Crocker. Guarded closely here by Bourne. Davis feeding Kelly Wilson. Loops it back in for Davis. That time Adelaide's defense was strong.
And you saw the adjustment on that ice coverage, so it changed Bendigo's geography. Instead of setting a regular wing on ball, they tried to set a step-up screen or a punch screen instead. So with their back to the baseline, it changed their entire geography of their offense, and it was a little less flowy, and they were able to then capitalize that. So again, that's that proactive defensively, seeing the advantages of that.
Here's Davis feeding Ali Wilson, who runs into congestion, loses control, and the Lightning get it back through Bourne. Couple of good stops now. Basham for ball ace. Did all the hard work, didn't get it to go, and then Bourne couldn't get the follow-up points. The Adelaide Lightning at the moment going at 29% from the field. Bendigo going at 67% from the field. Foul is called. Tonks hitting the floor on that occasion. As McGoldrick takes a seat after hitting that early three-pointer in the second quarter. Bendigo with 14 seconds to work with here. Crocker can't hit that 3 to go off the quick shot. Borlase, the 2 points for her so far. After 31 in her last game. Can't get that one to go, but Turner follows up with the 2.
And Adelaide's starting to string some stops together in a row. So now they've got to make sure they penalise the Spirit at the other end, starting with that last possession there, that last score, but also going back to their play. They played in pace, they got the ball inside early. But Bendigo here, Davis just way too big.
Back to the well, they go, Bendigo. Davis gets the 2 and will head to the line for an extra to try and complete a 3-point play. Davis already has the 5 rebounds as well.
And just from a bigs perspective, from a development perspective, you know, that catch, not dropping the ball below her shoulders, keeping it up nice and high. So using her size and her length to play above the defense to be able to draw that foul rather than allow someone smaller to be able to contest.
Will it be for Borlase? Can she catch fire? Mid-range 2 attempt drops. for Izzy Borlase.
And I think that's something they need to look to get into a little bit more, having Borlase come off some on-ball screens or some double drags and look to play in that mid-range while Spirit are in that drops coverage, really pull up, you know, at that foul line sort of area. That's a shot for her all day, so she needs to take more of those.
Ali Wilson almost stole it, but it left Borlase free for three. She's got a couple of field goals in a row, and a timeout is called, and some momentum finally for the Adelaide Lightning. And it's come after Zoe consecutive defensive stops.
Yeah, and also a good timeout though from Coach Kerryama, because, you know, yes, they're up. You know, they've got a significant lead early in the game, but Adelaide is starting to get it together. They're starting to figure it out. You can see they're stringing some stops together. They're getting easier scores. So you want to try and break that rather than wait for it to get back within 10 points to then make that call.
This timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport, who are here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hassle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport, the experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge right now at ctmsport.com.au. As I mentioned, Izzy Borlase hadn't quite had the start to the game that she was after. She only had the 2 points just essentially seconds ago. Now she's up to 7, going 3 of 8 from the field. She's coming off a massive game against the Townsville Fire, against Perth rather, sorry. 31 points, where she was 14 of 24 from the field. The fact she had 24 field goal attempts for a 19-year-old, she's playing with maturity beyond her years.
Absolutely, and I would argue if she's 14 of 24, she should have taken more shots.
Yeah.
That's a great percentage to shoot at. So, you know, but again, having the confidence to do that at such a young age, and then the ability to actually convert. It is, like you said, it's maturity and skill set beyond her years.
She kept the momentum going here for Adelaide. Here's Kelly Wilson. Miscommunication there. Again, good defense from Adelaide. Tonks out for Willoughby. Has 3 to beat, so it goes to Turner for Tonks, who puts it up for 3. Willoughby can't quite grab the offensive rebound. Ali Wilson was there, though, and it was off her hands last, according to the referees. So Adelaide will have a fresh 14 seconds to work with.
Yeah, and just being far more proactive on the defensive end. They're not allowing any dribble. They're blowing up all the dribble handoffs and getting between the dribbler and the receiver, which is just making life more difficult for Bendigo. So now they have to make their adjustments, and, you know, they're not getting things as easy as they were in the first quarter.
Deep 2 attempt from Willoughby. Looked pretty flat off the hand, so easy rebound here for the Bendigo Spirit. Wilson and Griffin, fair few games between those two. There's a defensive foul called on Borlase, despite Borlase hitting the deck.
And that is the risk you run. They're trying to, as you can see here, she's trying to get in between. That is the risk you run. But you, again, like I said before, you wear that. It's showing that you're being more proactive defensively and that you're going to dictate terms rather than just following or getting underneath and allowing wide open shots for a team that's shooting pretty well from the field right now.
The only issue, though, Zoe, is that it's third personal foul for Izzy Borlase, who hits, who now sits on the bench as well. But she really did kickstart the Lightning in this quarter. She has 7 points. She takes a seat. So can the Bendigo Spirit pounce? Here's Werung. 2 big triples in that opening quarter for Crocker, with Willoughby in her face. Can't get it to go. Shot clock violation. Again, Adelaide looking much stronger defensively in this second quarter. What have they got offensively here? Working around the perimeter. Deemed off the feet there of Griffin. Basham, though, has really given them a spark.
You can really feel the difference in their endeavour. You know, the way the ball's moving, the way they're being more aggressive, and they're looking to put the ball inside through pass or penetration. We weren't seeing that in the first quarter. So you can feel a real change in the Lightning and how they're going about and approaching their offense.
Basham missed it, but Tonks got the offensive rebound. Bourne drew in the defense and then hit the triple.
That's huge from a big. to be able to up fake, put it to the floor and then finish. Normally, you know, you would encourage that and because off the bounce, the percentage normally goes down. As a young player, to be able to knock that down, as a young big player, that's massive from Bourne.
They led by as much as 23, the Bendigo Spirit. Somehow that lead has been dwindled back to 11. Brooke Basham again off the bench, playing the WNBL game of her life at the moment.
And it's taken just a couple of small adjustments defensively, and it's changed the entire scope of the game for them. They're now more aggressive offensively. They're more confident offensively. They're starting to knock down their shots because now they're uncontested as well. So rather than making it so difficult and going up against 2 or 3 or going up against a Ruth Davis inside the paint, they're moving the ball at their pace, how they play. And so now they're getting their shots that they want to get. So now the Spirit have to make their adjustment here, and I'm sure they will, and be able to lock that down. They've probably got to get a little bit more aggressive now defensively and not allow the ball to whip the way it is at the moment. And then offensively for them, I'd like to see Ruth Davis come back into the lineup just because of what she was, the attention she was attracting. You know, you just looked at her and 3 or 4 players would swarm on her. And I don't think they've got that post presence at the moment because Turner's doing a great job on Froling. So I'd like to see her come back into the lineup and be able to draw that attention to be either get the open shooters again for Bendigo or be able to then penetrate into the key.
23-point lead has become an 11-point lead for Bendigo. Samuels working along the baseline. That was a tough attempt. And Adelaide able to get the quick transition here. Basham again. Can't get that one to go. It's going to be deemed a ball going the way of the Bendigo Spirit. Referees had to confer there. Bendigo will get the ball back. But Brooke Basham having an excellent game so far. 9 points, 4 of 6 from the field from just over 7 minutes of court time. Doing the guarding here on Ali Wilson. And Wilson somehow finds a way through, kicks it back out for Samuels and now for Griffin. So plenty of time on the shot clock. Samuels gets the screen from Froling. Now Werung, out to her left, finds a way through. Left-hand hook misfires, but Froling gets involved and is called for the offensive foul.
And that's great defense from Tonks there. We all know Abby Werung loves a left-hand drive and she's very good at it. So on that catch, as soon as she caught it, where everyone would probably expect her to rip and go baseline, she's gone on her left hand and Tonks was there to take the chest blow. And again, just make it difficult. That's all Adelaide need to keep doing. Just keep making it difficult and things will come for them.
Just over 3.5 to play in the second quarter. Basham handing it off for Willoughby, trying to get free. Finds Turner inside. Lovely pick and roll action. Then Tonks is free.
And Ali Wilson just losing sight of Tonks there as the ball went inside. And again, that's what we were talking about before with Ruth Davis potentially coming back into the lineup, is the attention that attracts when the ball goes inside to a big. Often a lot of people watch it, and that's where Tonks did a great job of relocating.
Quite an incredible fight back this has been from the Adelaide Lightning. They led by as much, they led 38-15 at one stage. It's now 44-32 rather, in favour of the Bendigo Spirit. Still plenty of time left in this second quarter. Froling takes a seat. I reckon Davis has come back onto the floor, as you mentioned, and called for Zoe. Let's see what Davis can do here defensively. That's a tough look again from Basham.
Mid-range pull-up jump shot. It's alive and well.
Well and truly kicking here at the Red Energy Arena. And Brooke Basham is the first player into double-figure points. Samuels for Griffin. Going baseline. Out for Werung in her corner. In a natural habitat, Abby Werung drains it.
And feet in the paint. And it was easier to get feet in the paint because Ruth was in there. And even when she's on weak side, she's still a threat because of her size. So outstanding work from KG to get her feet in the paint and then find the open Werung.
Oh, Basham. Oh, my word. When you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
That's it. Yeah, go until the heat's checked.
What a performance from Brooke Basham. South Australian product. She's playing a massive game away from home. She's streaming down the court to the left of Tonks, but Tonks goes herself, hits the two, and will be going to the line for an extra. The bench of Adelaide has brought the team back into this contest. Liz Tonks will go to the line. She's 4 of 4 from the free throw line so far in this season. It's now 4 of 5, but Adelaide have now got the deficit back under 10 points. It's been a roller coaster season for both of these teams, so it's only natural that this is a roller coaster first half between these two teams. Basham called for the foul. We saw Tonks just come off the floor as well with Mansfield checking into the game, but Adelaide are in the bonus, so Kelly Wilson will head to the free throw line. 5 of 7 so far this season, now 6 of 8 from the charity stripe. In her 21st WNBL season, a 4-time WNBL champ, of course, 2 of those championships with Bendigo. Still going strong. Foul is going to be called here on Samuels.
And I think, yeah, that coverage is going to, an adjustment from Bendigo is going to have to come at some point. Davis is sinking right off, and she's almost, her heels are almost on the tip of the charge circle on that as she's defending the screener. So yes, they are in a drops coverage, but probably has to step up just that little bit further, maybe foul line, maybe a little bit higher, just to be able to put a little bit more pressure on that mid-range pull-up jump shot, because we've seen that Adelaide are starting to feel it now.
Basham with 5 seconds to shoot, mid-range 2, doesn't drop this time for Brooke Basham. Everything she's touched has turned to gold so far in this game. Just not on that occasion. Wilson to Griffin. Now Werung finds some open space and hits the 2. Abby looking really strong today. Mansfield lobs it in, and Griffin athletically rips it away. A much-needed turnover there for Bendigo. Griffin had it ripped away from her by Willoughby. One-on-one with Samuels. Did the elbow come out? No call by the referee. It is still an Adelaide ball. Good defense from Samuels.
That is great defense. She did an outstanding job of getting back, getting position, just walling up. And I also like the no call, to be honest.
Okay.
It's like, let them play a little bit. And, you know, she was inside the charge circle. There wasn't a drop of the shoulder, all those sort of things. So I like that that wasn't called. Allow a little bit more physicality within the game.
Still 18 seconds on the shot clock for the Adelaide Lightning. Less than a minute left in this first half. Mansfield grits her teeth and worked her way into the lane there to put the layup attempt up, and she will head to the line to shoot a couple. As we mentioned earlier, didn't play against Perth due to back soreness. Coming off the bench today. She's a 79% free throw shooter, and we know she can really catch fire. Her 10th WNBL season and her 4th with the Adelaide Lightning, the captain of the side. Her wisdom and experience so important in this young Adelaide roster.
Little 2-2-1 delay press here too from Adelaide. I like the change up just to, again, take Bendigo out of their run or out of their flow and get an early shot.
And there's still an 11-second differential between the clocks, although Willoughby put it up, saw an opportunity, couldn't get it to go. Griffin brings down the rebound. And the Spirit can make this a last possession right here of the half. Ball in the hands of a player who's played more games in this league than any other player. Feeds it off for Werrung, trying to feed. Davis can't. It's deemed off the hands of Adelaide. As you can see in the clocks above the ring there, about a 1.2-second differential.
Can see what Werrung was trying to do, but you've got to throw it up to the big.
Yeah.
And if the throwing it up's not there, kick it on and get it in on that angle.
Kelly Wilson can't get the hook to go. Big, strong rebound from Turner. And that ends a fascinating first half between 6th and 7th on the WNBL table. Bendigo led by as much as 23 early in that second quarter. But at halftime, they only lead by 11, 51-40. Let's just have a look at some of the second quarter highlights before we head to the break as well. Kind of very hard to get a read on this game at the moment.
Yeah, it is. They're sort of toing and froing. You know, Bendigo jumped out of the blocks. They were in total control in that first quarter, getting their feet in the paint or coming up with second and third opportunities, shooting the ball really well. And Ruth Davis being a massive target inside the paint and just drawing so much attention. And then Adelaide in that second quarter made their adjustments defensively and started to push Bendigo out, made their shots a little more difficult, which then helped them get back to how they played. Playing in their pace, being able to move the ball quickly from side to side, and then find their open opportunities. They've done a great job of also using their on-ball screens and, you know, really penalising that drops coverage and playing in the mid-range game.
And their field goal percentage improved significantly throughout that first half. It started around 26% and it's got its way back up to 39% at halftime as well. So much improved performance from Nat Hurst's Adelaide Lightning in that second quarter in particular. They're your leading scorers. Abby Werrung playing with a confidence that we know she has as well, but Brooke Basham playing one of her best WNBL games off the bench. She also has 13 points. We will take a short break here from Red Energy Arena, catch our breath after that topsy-turvy first half, and come back with the third quarter in just a few moments. It's Bendigo 51, leading the Adelaide Lightning 40.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
There are things we can't see, like the air that we breathe. There's a power in me, you'll see.
He's done it!
For our homegrown superstars, this is the one that matters most. The Aussies are ready to unleash on 9 Summer of Awesome. Get ready for a new heart-racing game changer. Todd Woodbridge.
What is the longest river in South America?
The Amazon River?
Correct.
Pushes Australia's most addictive game show over the edge.
Wow. Let's go!
And in an all-new endgame.
One counter for a shot at $40,000.
The more you risk.
2 counters, $20,000. I'll also throw in a holiday.
The more you win.
If you don't get that jackpot, you'll leave here with nothing.
Brand new Tipping Point Australia starts Monday, Jan 29 on 9.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, From the boomers and opals to Aussie hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Sammy Whitcomb, you can't keep her down all night.
One player who is absolutely taking the competition by storm this season is Izzy Bola, the South Australian product. We know she comes from a family of sporting royalty, but she's making her own name in this competition.
It was my first season and didn't really have any expectations leading into it. I guess I received some acclamations at the end of the season. I had like an inkling that maybe I could come away with one of them, but getting two was just amazing and I was really grateful for that. My dad, who used to play football in the SANFL for the Port Magpies. My mum played for the Diamonds for netball. My brother plays in AFL and my sister does surf lifesaving rowing and she's represented Australia. I'm really lucky to have my family members who can help me out.
Now your heart is full again, Rachel Sport, because the iconic number 14 that you made famous here at the Adelaide Lightning in the WNBL was retired, but it is back on the back of Izzy Bola, and I know it's making your heart sing.
Certainly is. I couldn't think of anyone better, and I know that Izzy's doing some wonderful moves out there. Much better dribbler than I ever was. Rapt to see number 14 out there, and really exciting future for Miss Bola.
You know, obviously in pre-season you could tell, you know, okay, this girl's going to be a star. She blew me away as well, just with, you know, the season she had, to watch her play and to watch her grow, and I'm excited to see what she does this season.
She's just got so much to her game. She's powerful, she's robust, she's got a perfect basketball body. She can go inside, she's a great rebounder. The basketball world is at her feet, really. She's going to have a great career.
I'd like to be better than I was last season. I haven't had the most ideal off-season with a couple of niggling injuries, so I'm trying not to be too hard on myself. So whatever happens, happens, really.
Hi, I'm Sammy Whitcomb, and this is Harper.
And I'm Steph Reed, and this is Frankie.
And we're here with Ford Aussie Hoops, and we're gonna go have some fun. Here we go. Grab a ball. Ooh. I want this one. That's the money ball.
I wanted that one.
Whoa, we're so young. Whoa. Here you go. Whoa. Shoot it. Nice.
Oh. What's your favorite thing about basketball?
I think one of my favorite things about basketball is getting to play on a team with the group and like working towards one common goal with that group. I think that's really rewarding.
Yeah.
What is your favorite routine?
Favorite routine before a game? I nap like a nana.
She can.
Yeah. That is so impressive. Go you
bang, bang. Oh,
easy.
yeah. That's
Easy
so
money.
easy. You guys are great. Did you learn that at Aussie Hoops?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, swish.
Thank you guys so much for shooting with us, hanging out, drawing. Good job. You guys are fantastic.
Joke.
Love it. Aussie Hoops got some good ones.
Look at that.
Oh,
get out of here.
An absolute workhorse.
Alex Demonor. Australia's top hope. Oh, what a shot. He tries to get to every ball. Demonor dazzles in Melbourne.
For centuries, supernatural creatures have lived among us.
There are vampires, werewolves, doppelgangers, witches,
And even hybrids.
Go! There are friends,
Our enemies.
the ones we love.
And the ones we've lost. A lot of blood, a lot of partying.
But if you're gonna die, it might as well be epic.
Sink your teeth into the drama. Drink. The Vampire Diaries.
Here we go.
Stream every episode on 9 now.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
Welcome back to Red Energy Arena. It's the Bendigo Spirit hosting the Adelaide Lightning, and we have witnessed in that first half a three-point show from Abby Werung. She was the #1 player in the WNBL last season for three-point percentage. Hasn't quite had that same strike rate so far in 2023-2024, but Zoe Carr, when she's playing with this confidence as well, it seems to lift the entire team.
Absolutely. It brings energy, it brings confidence, because you couple her ability to knock down the open three or pull-up jump shot off the on-ball screen. You couple that with what she's able to do defensively and disrupt and take players out of the game. And now she becomes a massive focal point. So she's been huge off the bench and her energy's just been infectious. And hopefully, she'll be able to carry that into the second half.
You spoke earlier, Zoe, about Abby in particular, and how she's not just a star player, but a star person as well. We know that she lost her dad, Dwayne, at 9 years of age, and her mum, Karen, in 2020. And in honour of her mum, last year, she rode on a horse for 11 days across 260 kilometres and raised $31,000 for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Rode 8 hours a day, camped out there. It was a mighty effort by Abby Werung, which goes to show to her character. Absolutely. Huge from her, and it was just such an emotional, feat to be able to do for her and for her network as well. But you also see anyone that follows her on Instagram, her love for her animals, and her love for particularly her dogs and her horses and her goats and everything else that she's got. So she is a wonderful human being. So it's great to see her now turning a corner at this stage of the season. Yeah. Right when Bendigo needed it. Because in the last 2 months, since the start of December, she's only hit double figures in one game against the Southside Flyers on the 17th of December. Well, she's already hit double figures halfway through tonight's game against the Adelaide Lightning. She has 13 of Bendigo Spirit's 51 points. And it's the Spirit who hold an 11-point advantage as Adelaide begin with the Spalding at the start of this third quarter. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the globe. Turner kicks it inside for Brazel, who goes outside for Willoughby, who puts up the deep 2 attempt and falls well short. It fell into the lap, though, of Brazel to give Adelaide a fresh 14 seconds. Adelaide were down by as much as 23 points in that second quarter. Got their way back into the contest, but Bourne throws it away. And Bendigo will have their first offensive look of the half. If anyone wants to go back and watch what it's like to be an absolute vital and key defender, watch Kelly Wilson in that last possession. She got caught on a switch on Turner, and she just sat on her knees and pushed her out and made it impossible for them to use her as a focal point. She was then able to scramble, switch back with Ruth Davis, and just her disruption in that possession was elite. Brazel, good look here for 3. Can't get it to go. Strong rebound from Crocker. Crocker with the 4 points so far. Werung with 13 for Bendigo. 13 for Basham off the bench for Adelaide. Adelaide's unlikely leading scorer at the half. Strong pass inside from Crockett. Davis rips it away. Kelly Wilson has to shoot this. Does shoot. Does hit.
And again, that focal point of Ruth Davis inside. So it wasn't pretty, but she was able to keep control of it, hit the open shooter. Kelly Wilson doesn't miss too many of those.
And then Bourne at the other end. We saw her hit a big three in that second quarter. Wilson brings down the rebound. Normally the one distributing these days, Kelly Wilson finds the net on that occasion. Crocker hoping for a pass inside. It came off the hands of Adelaide, so Bendigo will still have this ball in with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
And that deflection was timely, because I was just about to say this is something that Adelaide need to make sure they get a hold of early. Don't allow Bendigo to get comfortable in this third quarter, because they're running out of time. When it was the first quarter, you know, it's one thing, you can try and pick it back. But when KG is going to pull out something like that, you're up against it. But you can't allow them to get that sort of comfort and get back into their offensive rhythm that they found in the first quarter.
As the shot clock ticked down, Griffin came up with a big three. Turner could have put it up herself. Instead went the extra pass to Bourne, and Bourne was fouled. And will go to the line and shoot two.
Adelaide doing a great job on their back cuts and finding their back cutters, you know, being able to, especially with the threading those passes through off the bounce. It's been a focal point for the whole game so far. And, you know, Bendigo have made their adjustments. They're up and in. They're trying to be disruptive. And so that read to be able to back cut off that, and then also the skill to find it, has been outstanding by the Lightning.
So we know that Izzy Bourne, during the back half of this season, is able to get to the free throw line more often. The issue is that she's shooting at 49% so far this season. Now she's 2 of 6 tonight. Every point counts now for Adelaide. Every attempt counts. Ali Wilson with a look-away pass to Crocker. Crocker able to keep it alive. 5 to shoot here for Kelly Wilson. Not sure if that was a pass or an attempt. I'm sure Kelly will say it was a pass. Adelaide throw it away at the other end. No harm done.
But again, a turnover from Adelaide's perspective that you'll take. Putting pressure on the defensive transition of the Spirit is vital for them to be able to get some freedom offensively once they are in the half court.
Start to this quarter by the Bendigo Spirit. They have the first 6 points of the half. It was Bendigo 33-15 at quarter time, and then Adelaide produced a 25-18 second quarter, which included a breathtaking 13-zip run. Now Bendigo with a 6-zip run to start this quarter. Ali Wilson with 10 to shoot. The arm come out. Ref said no. She put up the shot, did Ali Wilson. Turner came down with the rebound and almost lost control. Bola streams through and gets the lucky roll. Kelly Wilson kicking up her own tempo, and no one between Brazel and the basket. Bit of Brazel ball here.
You could almost, if there was a speech bubble above her head, you know what it'd say. It'd be like, please don't miss, please don't miss, please don't miss. One of the hardest shots in basketball, the wide open layup. But well done to Brazel. She's an exciting young player in the league, and it's been mentioned a couple of times on broadcast what she's, you know, coming back from an ACL and then making a junior national team and then stepping into the WNBL. So it's great to see her having impact, and she's just getting better every game.
And getting the start the last couple of games as well, with Lauren Mansfield firstly missing, now coming off the bench tonight. Speaking of the bench, there goes Kelsey Griffin and Ali Wilson to the Bendigo Spirit Pine. Bendigo holding a 13-point lead now. Werung back on the floor, and intent was there from Crocker to Werung. She was streaming towards the rim there. Abby Werung didn't quite come off. Said Kelly Wilson will reset here for Bendigo. For Crocker, for Froling. Now back out for Werung. Miss Samuels. And it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be deemed an Adelaide ball, much to the disgust of Samuels. (57-44) lead for Bendigo. They're in the thick of a very busy schedule at the moment, Bendigo. 6 games in 15 days. It's because they have played the least amount of games of the 8 WNBL teams so far. This is just their 13th game. They do have time to try and make up and get in that top 4. Mansfield missed a deep 2, then almost followed up with their own offensive rebound and then sent it out of bounds.
And so now, you know, the mid-range game's starting to dry up a little bit for Adelaide. So now they need to still attack that drops coverage, but maybe look to screen the dropper. So then you can get closer to the basket and be able to make that more of a layup rather than a pull-up jump shot.
Crocker pulls the trigger. A quick release 3 there. An easy rebound for the Lightning. Foul called off the ball there. Bourne and Samuels were going at it. I sense that might be called on Casey Samuels. One team foul each so far in this third quarter. Crocker will take a seat. That foul was on Casey Samuels. She has 2. As you can see, Izzy Borlase with the 3. Only player in foul trouble. Willoughby's mid-range 2 falling well short. Werung lobs it in. And big defensive block from Turner. Excellent play from one of the best defensive players in the competition. Mansfield can't get the second one to go. Turner follows up with an offensive rebound, kicks it out to her opponents. Can the Bendigo Spirit pounce at the other end? Werung driving towards the rim and was fouled.
And it seems minor, but that take from Werung there, just to be able to draw that contact and then try and separate to get herself some more space to be able to finish over the defender, and then also obviously draw the foul. It's a great skill to have.
Such a wonderful free throw shooter, Abby Werung, over the years. Her 4th season with Bendigo and her 10th in the WNBL. She actually played 2 seasons at Adelaide as well. Now, her best season was actually in 2020 with Adelaide when she averaged the 11 points. Her best season certainly statistically. So fond memories of playing with the Lightning. Borlase, oh, that's tough, but she is too good.
And you could see there was a intent to try and get her onto her left hand. I've said it about Borlase before. She can go left, but it's non-preferred. So they've just got to, Werung's got to do a better job of just climbing into that right hand and really forcing her to her left, and then using split line defense to contest her once she gets to the rim.
Great hustle, Ezra McGoldrick involved. As Ali Wilson was hoping for Froling, just missed her, and Bourne pounces. But Bendigo with plenty of numbers in their backcourt to hold up Adelaide. Bit of an arm wrestle to start this third quarter. Can Borlase get free? She can't. She hits the deck. But Bourne finds some space, and the seas parted for Izzy Bourne, and she hit the 2. Driving easily along the baseline there. At the other end, oh, hard foul. Turner going for an aggressive block on Ali Wilson. Ali Wilson hits the deck.
And I was going to say on that last possession that Ali Wilson for the start of this quarter has seemed to be a little bit more pass focused and trying to facilitate a little bit more. And I'd like to see her continue to be a scorer. So it's that exact possession there was great to see the way she put the defender in jail, or hostage dribble, or wombat, whatever you want to call it. We have 8 names for everything in basketball. But, you know, getting the defender on her back and just causing that contact and then separating out and attacking the big and getting herself to the line.
Coming off a big NBL 1 2023 with Norwood averaging the 23 points, 11 rebounds and 7 assists before joining the Spirit for another campaign. As Zoe mentioned, she's in the form and the shape of her life at the moment, Ali Wilson. 12-point lead here for Bendigo. Mansfield for Turner, for Borlase. with 5 to shoot. Borlase finds a way through, aggressive into the paint, and gets the 2 to go.
It is so tough. Her core strength is just at another level. To be able to contort in the air and take the hit is just, again, like we said before, beyond her years.
Good defense again from Adelaide as well. So 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Points haven't flowed as much in this third quarter compared to the first half. 9 points to 10 in favour of Adelaide so far.
I'd like to see the Spirit be a little more targeted at trying to get Borlase out of the game. So attacking her defensively to try and get her to pick up her 4th foul, allowing her to just sort of play the way she wants to play, you know, go at her and test her and see what she can do. But an outstanding feed and finish there from Froling to be able to take that contact and finish high and soft off the glass.
Here's a look on replay of Alicia Froling, just showing terrific strength and just shrewd body positioning as well from Alicia Froling. What do you sense in the past couple of weeks, Zoe, as why Alicia has been putting up the digits that she has and showing the form that she has in recent times?
She's a workhorse. You know, you see her when she practices, everything's at 100%. She's a full-blown competitor. But for her, I think she's simplified her game. She's doing the little things. She's running the lanes. She's owning the tip of the charge circle in transition. She's sealing big. She's screening well, and she's separating really quickly out of screens, and that's getting her open. And when you've got players like Kelly Wilson in the 1 and Ellie Wilson, who can find players that are rolling to the basket, you're going to, as you can see here, streaming down the floor there. She's one of the first down the floor. So she's really simplified that and is doing all those, what we sort of call basic things, well.
Abby Werung has found her 3-point game. She is 4 from 4 from downtown in this game, and Bendigo hold a 66-50 lead. Timeout called, and this timeout is brought to you by the official WNBL app, which is here for the 2024 season. Don't miss a minute of the action, so download the WNBL app for all the live scores, highlights, player and team information, and much, much more. Download the free WNBL app from your preferred app store today. Abby Werung is up to 18 points so far in this game. It is a season high already, 18 points for Abby Werung. And we know how good she is defensively, but she's so efficient from the 3-point line. She doesn't throw shots up willy-nilly. She's just, makes great decisions from that 3-point territory.
Yeah, and a lot of it also coming from the work of the person penetrating. They're getting their feet in the paint and playing off 2 feet, so they're able to find her cleanly rather than getting feet in the paint, leaving their feet, and then trying to find a pass. Everything's controlled, and so the pass is on the hands, and anytime a pass is on the hands for Abby Werung, it's a big chance of going down. So she's doing a great job of getting to receiver spots to be able to knock it down, but the penetrators and the feeders are doing an outstanding job of that poise and getting the ball in the paint and playing off 2 feet.
What have Adelaide got now? Showed terrific signs throughout the game, including Brooke Basham. She misfired on that occasion. And now an opportunity for Bendigo to continue their strong third quarter. Werung for 5 from 5. Can't get it to go.
I love that, though, from Bendigo. You know, that was a targeted offense to try and get Werung another look because she's shooting well from the 3. So to get her to set that pin down and then come off that flare screen for a wide-open 3, I love that look from Coach Kennedy Kariyama.
Now Kelly Wilson goes to work, driving baseline, trying to bring Alicia Froling into the game, but Borlase was aware of that. She picks up the basketball. 13 points for Izzy Borlase. Now for Badish. And now Mansfield with 10 to shoot. Guarded by Griffin. Goes to work, one-on-one almost on Griffin. A couple of 3x3 specialists as well. Badish putting up the shot, but travelled before she put up the shot. Again, good defence from Bendigo.
Yeah, great switch between Griffin and Froling. You know, I think Mansfield's eyes sort of lit up a little bit when she saw she had Griffin on her, and that the screen that was coming was Turner that had Froling. So I think, you know, a little probably didn't need the screen to come, allow that space and allow her to try and work. But an outstanding switch from those two to make it difficult.
Now here's Griffin on offence. Kicks it out for Ali Wilson. Really good look for three.
Great find. Again, using Alicia Froling, diving on the rim, separating quickly out of that and diving on the rim, drawing all of that attention, finding a wide open shooter.
Ali Wilson hits double figures. That's her first triple of the night. And this has ballooned out to a 19-point advantage. Great catch from Bourne. Goes one-on-one with Froling. The big can't get the right-hand finish to go, though. And Warren gets the rebound. And again, the ball is in the hands of Kelly Wilson as the game clock ticks down at the end of the quarter. Ali Wilson trying to get the screen from Froling. It eventually comes. Pick and roll action was excellent. Froling finishes with the left. A big back end of this third quarter from the Bendigo Spirit. Time runs out and Bendigo take control of the game. It was a 20-10 third quarter from Bendigo, and it sets up a 71-50 ball game at three-quarter time. Ben Waterworth with you alongside Zoe Carr for this Cygnett WNBL clash. As we have a look at the two benches here, that was a really impressive surge from Bendigo towards the back end of that quarter, Zoe.
Yeah, and again, coming from the bench, 38 bench points for the Spirit. That's massive. And, you know, and it's not just coming from one. It's coming across the board. You know, Werung stepping up, Froling starting to find her groove. You know, she did some great things in that first quarter, but, you know, you've seen the Spirit have started to really wear down the Lightning. So they've taken the emotion out of it. They've taken the energy by slowing them down again and then finding them their advantages offensively and being able to knock down the open shot. But, you know, again, we've seen the Lightning, you know, you can never sleep on them. They're young, they're dynamic, and they'll look to come out and have another push to start this fourth quarter.
It's why all other 7 teams in the WNBL can't sleep on Bendigo. Yes, they've got a tough run coming up. We'll have a look at some of their numbers now from the game so far. But you can't sleep on Bendigo during the back half of this season as well, because you look at the depth of scoring there and how well they've played defensively for the most of the game as well. On paper, they are a mighty strong team.
Absolutely, and we're heading for at least 5 of them to finish this game in double figures. That's going to make it difficult for any team to 1 scout and then 2 defend. So, you know, if I feel like I get the impression watching this, there's been a line in the sand. I think the group's come together and said it's got to be now.
Okay.
We've got to run this push and try and string these games together. And, you know, they've got 1 quarter to finish this off. Again, you've got to make sure you put it away here. Don't allow a sniff from Adelaide, because a young team, you give them just a little bit of hope and they'll run with that.
Fourth quarter underway. Ali Wilson has played a big game herself. 10 points and 8 assists for Ali Wilson. Foul is called within the first 12 seconds against the Adelaide Lightning. Here's that last play of that third quarter. Powerful from Alicia Froling. The left hand doing wonders. Good story here as well is that Sophia Lacandro is out there for her first minutes of the season, the number 8 for Bendigo. A bit of a wretched time with a hamstring issue. She's out there to start this fourth quarter. Turner put up the shot. Big rebound there, Kelly Wilson. Always looking to bring her teammates into the game. Here's Lacandro. Stolen, though, by Willoughby. guarded by Werung. Lovely step inside, though, from Willoughby. Left-hand finish goes.
That's an outstanding finish to be able to Euro step there to the middle and be able to finish non-preferred. Yeah, that's a great finish at pace. That's really difficult to go from so fast to slow in those steps.
Offensive foul called against the Spirit. That's Lacandro who's been called for the offensive foul, so Adelaide will get the ball back. What do you think, Nat Hurst, the message would have been at three-quarter time, considering the topsy-turvy nature of the game and the young side in front of her?
Yeah, I think it'd just be to try and get back to what was working for them in that second quarter. You know, start being, again, I sound like a broken record, but proactive defensively. You know, go back to really pushing Bendigo out of their offense and not allowing them to find those open shooters and allow the ball to whip around. And then go back for them offensively in what they do well. Run the floor, kick the ball ahead, you know, move the ball, try and get the ball inside and out, and then attack through the paint. But I think the on-ball coverage that they had did a great job in that second quarter. It probably needed another adjustment in the third, but it's one of those things that if you haven't practiced it, because the adjustment they need is, you know, like I was saying before, to try and screen the dropper. If you haven't practiced that, you can't just throw that into a game. So, you know, smart from Coach Nat Hurst to stick with what they're doing there and just try and perfect it, and you know, disrupt Bendigo as much as possible.
Ali Wilson trying to bring Alicia Froling into the game. Instead went to Kelly Wilson, who has to put this up. Trying to bank it in, couldn't quite. And Bree Turner threw it straight into Alicia Froling. Much to her surprise and amusement, ultimately.
It's one of the things with Kelly Wilson, that on that skip, she is the quintessential point guard, Kelly Wilson.
Yes.
She's always looking to facilitate, always looking to bring others into the game. But on that skip pass, as one of the better shooters across the league, she doesn't shoot enough. And on that skip, it would have been great to see her just catch and shoot that with confidence, because I think there's probably more of a chance of hitting that than the mid-range step through.
Willoughby hands it off for Mansfield. Sense a little bit of urgency from Adelaide. What a pass inside from Mansfield, but those points won't count. Foul came before the shot. Kelly Wilson was called for the foul. Here's a look. It was Wilson who committed the foul on Mansfield, and Turner again. They've got a knack of finding Bree Turner in that situation, Adelaide.
Samuels is probably sitting there saying, hold on, if you didn't call the offensive foul in that second quarter. But, you know, that's the nature of the game, and hopefully, you know, Kelly will learn from that and be able to step up a little bit earlier and find her position a little bit earlier.
Izzy Bourne hits her second triple of the night. She moves into double-figure points. Ali Wilson kicks it out for Lacandro.
Massive way to come off the bench. Like you mentioned, she's been battling some injury after a really good NBL 1 season with Waverley Falcons. So to be able to then step onto the floor and knock that down, that's so exciting to see for a young player.
Could hear the crowd really lift as well. I could see her teammates pat her on the back there as well. It's a lovely moment for Sophia Lacandro. It was the 9th assist as well from Ali Wilson. She's one dish away from a double-double. Timeout is called here at the Red Energy Arena. It's a timeout brought to you by your local Ford dealer, proudly supporting community basketball in Australia. Yeah, so first minutes for Sophia Lacandro. Not just a strong NBL 1 season, but 3 college seasons as well with the UC Irvine Anteaters. She played 87 games with there, but Zoe, you know the national championships set up quite well. She played for Vic Metro Lacandro in the 16s, the 18s, and the 20s as well. So that's a really good story of a good, strong Australian basketball junior, does the college as well, and has a good crack down the WNBL.
Yeah, definitely. She was always going to be a talent. I was lucky enough to be an assistant coach on one of her under-16 teams with Vic Metro, so she was always pretty special, and to see her now be able to come back into the WNBL and have an impact. And I think she's only going to get better. She just needs that little bit more time of being injury-free and have a good run at it. But, you know, length like that doesn't grow on trees.
No.
So, and the ability to shoot the three the way she does. So, you know, hopefully she can continue to work and continue to stay injury-free so we can see what she's capable of.
190 centimetres, Sophia Lacandro, as Bree Turner is at the line, continuing her monster season for the Adelaide Lightning. #1 in the comp for rebounds and blocks. She misfires on the second attempt, but Adelaide get the ball back and could make it a 4-point play here through Willoughby. Can't get it to go. Bourne has seemed to got better as this game has progressed. Kelly Wilson, though, still fighting hard, able to force the jump ball. And possession arrow, I think, is still with the Adelaide Lightning. So 11 seconds on the shot clock. Tonks stepping onto the floor here for Adelaide, the former cap. The Borlays, equal team high 13 points. Tonks running out of time. Passed it inside, somehow able to find Bourne. Turner couldn't get the follow-up points. And Bendigo bringing it away. Ali Wilson been bringing her teammates into the game all night. Behind the back to Kelsey Griffin, can't get that 10th assist. And it is Willoughby bringing the ball down and losing control. And the Bendigo bench right up as well. Ball will be with Bendigo holding a 18-point lead. Their highest score of the season so far was 82 points against Sydney in late November. Good chance of going beyond that in the next couple of minutes. Ali Wilson misfires on the three. What a rebound from Kelly Wilson. Terrific determination, and Werung in the corner, can't get it to go. Needs to be in the other corner, the other end of the floor. Bourne can't catch, stolen away by Bendigo, and it's all going their way now. Griffin screaming for it in the corner, instead goes to the opposite corner in Ali Wilson for Werung, for Kelly Wilson. Being patient here. Davis catches on the inside. 5 to shoot, backs down, kicks it out. Kelly Wilson for 3!
Great find. That is outstanding offense. You can see again a focus for Ruth Davis to get the ball inside, but they didn't panic. They didn't rush. They just shifted the ball until it was open. Often when teams are trapping the post, they'll come the first time. They generally don't come the second. So it made it easy to then make that post feed. Then the trap came again, and able to find the wide open shooter. Great patience, great execution, and way to knock it down. Bendigo have been doing that all night.
They have. They're 50% from the three-point line tonight. 11 of 22. Kelly Wilson's 2 of 2. Willoughby, mid-range 2 attempt, is off target. Just hasn't been her night from the field. 3 of 12 from the field, Jocelyn Willoughby. And Bendigo holding a 21-point lead. Davis catches and works away inside, blocked by Turner. Great block it was. And sets up potentially a fast break opportunity, although Tonks is held up. Borlays, in fact, it's Bourne spinning. Can't get that one to go off the left. And Turner had no mates on the outside. So it will be a Bendigo ball, but it is a timeout called at the Red Energy Arena, with Bendigo holding a 77-56 lead over the Adelaide Lightning. Really pushed in that second quarter, but this second half has really been dominated by Kennedy Kerryama's side. So in a huge development for the WNBL, for the first time ever, all games are being shown on the WNBL, the WNBA app and League Pass. The WNBA app and League Pass. So for all our international viewers outside Australia and New Zealand, make sure you've downloaded the WNBA app for games and, of course, all WNBL content as well. Terrific partnership struck between the two leagues just a few weeks ago. That will continue to go strong, no doubt, throughout the rest of the season. So 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Bendigo holding a 77-56 lead as well. And it's probably been one of Bendigo's, outside of probably half of that second quarter, probably one of their more complete performances, for want of a better term, in terms of what they've been able to do at both ends of the floor this season.
Certainly their most efficient,
yes,
from both ends of the floor, and being able to, to hold any team to 56 at this point of the game is an outstanding effort. So, and then obviously their shooting percentage. That's why their shooting percentage is the way it is, though. Open shots, uncontested shots, because of great execution. Now, not so much down the other end defensively, a bit of confusion there, or a bit of a miscommunication, but yeah, it's certainly been their more efficient game and complete game.
That's not emphasised by the field goal percentage, but it's 25 assists to 8 tonight. Here's a look. Samuels hit the three, and her opponent hit the deck as well. She's still down. It's Tonks, who took some heavy contact from Samuels. Good to see her back out on her feet. So there's Ali Wilson. She has got a double-double. She's got the 10 assists to go with 12 points tonight, seeing Tonks take her place on the bench. Big performance from Ali Wilson tonight. You mentioned that Izzy Borlase was in early foul trouble in that second quarter. Willoughby still trying to create. Basham had an epic first half. Three-point attempt falling well short. Crocker feeding Samuels, and now Kelly Wilson. Davis for Crocker. 6 to shoot here for the Spirit. Davis on the inside. Go back to the well. In and out went the hoop, and went the ball rather. And Adelaide pounce at the other end. Basham lobbing it in for Bourne. Guarded here by Samuels. Goes to work in the paint. What a spin, and a terrific, classy left-hand finish.
Beautiful, take the contact and then spin off it. It's almost impossible to defend one-on-one. So being able to have that footwork and have that agility and then finish so soft on the rim was just a great job by Bourne there.
Kelly Wilson all the way out for Samuels. Inside for Davis. Just gets it off in time. Hits the 2, and that's Bendigo's highest score of the season.
Just the example of complete unselfishness from Kelly Wilson there. The seas parted and she could have taken it to the rim, but there was an idea in mind. There was something they were going for, and she wanted to find that, and it ended up a layup inside the paint.
Ali Wilson with the rebound. And Bendigo in complete control on their home floor. Davis screaming for it. Instead it goes to Samuels, who hits the 3, draws the contact, and will go to the line for an extra. Her milestone game is turning into one to remember.
It's amazing seeing what just the smallest of pass fakes into the paint is doing. Into Ruth, finding the open shooter. It's great basketball.
She's 3 of 3 from three-point land in her 150th game. Lots of applause around the Red Energy Arena as well. It's the Bendigo Spirit hold an 87-60 lead. Sees parted for Willoughby. She goes in and hits the two. Now here's an opportunity in her first game for Tamilo from New Zealand.
I'm excited to see her in this league. I've got to, the first time I saw her was at the Asia Cup and under-17s Asia Cup in Jordan, and she was a nightmare to have to guard. Her length, her ability to run the floor, finish, catch high, finish high, was just fantastic. So I'm excited to see what she can do in the league.
Lacandro at the other end, continuing her excellent quarter. She's put the Spirit into 90 points for the first time this season.
The Spirit just go into a little 2-3 zone just to be disruptive, and there it is.
Crocker makes the layup. She's up to 6 points to go with 5 assists tonight. It's now a 30-point lead for Bendigo. Willoughby wide open for three, drains it. And I think she let out a big sigh of relief as well after hitting it. She's 5 of 14 from the field tonight, but 2 of 3. Jocelyn Willoughby to go with 10 rebounds, so a double-double for Jocelyn Willoughby. Big attempt put up there on that occasion by the Spirit. Borlays from the charity stripe misfires, and Froling brings down the rebound. Outstanding performance on their home floor from the Bendigo Spirit. And here she is, her first points, Tamilo. Big round of applause as well from the home fan. Bench is out of their seats. At the other end, Borlays quickly silences them with a corner three. But that's one of the best bits, I suppose, when you see a young player come in for their first minutes and their first points.
Absolutely, and it's something that as a young player you never forget. You know, you always remember your first points, where it was, how you got it.
Yep.
And it's a really great memory. So to be able to do it in your first game, some people have to wait a while, but to be able to do it, you know, in your first stint is pretty impressive. So a really special moment for her.
And the degree of difficulty, the more you tell the story, tends to get more difficult as well. Yes.
Like everyone was 7 foot after a couple of years.
Crocker at the other end lays it in for another 2. 96 points for the Bendigo Spirit. This has been an awesome display from Kennedy Kerryama's side. They've scored at least 18 points in every quarter as Willoughby runs down the clock, and Bendigo show they're not quite done with yet this WNBL season. One of their best performances of the 2023-24 campaign. They defeat Adelaide 96-68 on their home floor. And quite rightly, the home fans loved it because their team gave them plenty to cheer about, Zoe, this afternoon.
Absolutely. And, you know, as we mentioned before, it's probably the most complete game that the Spirit have played. And, you know, this is what they have to go on now. This has to be the benchmark for them. And, you know, if they're going to push those finals, that's how they have to play. And they're capable of it, as you mentioned. They've got a lineup, they've got a list that can push finals. So it'll be exciting to see how they go over the next couple of weeks.
When the game was up for grabs from a Bendigo perspective, Abby Werung was central to the Bendigo Spirit surge, particularly from beyond the arc as well. Her first 4 triple attempts all dropped, 3 of them from that corner in particular. She is so dynamic at both ends of the floor.
Definitely, and it's so good to see this sort of game from her because, you know, as we mentioned, she probably hasn't put the scores on the board that she would have liked or that we're used to from her. So this is a big moment for her, and hopefully she can drag this into the Spirit's remaining games because she is a big part of this group, and the energy and the scoring punch that she can bring off the bench is massive.
Yes, her season high 18 points for Abby Werung tonight. Overall, a very strong performance from the Bendigo Spirit. Let's have a look at some of those fourth quarter highlights as well. We mentioned that lovely step from Jocelyn Willoughby, and Izzy Bourne hit a couple of lovely threes tonight, but wherever you look today, just Bendigo Spirit had an answer in some capacity.
Yeah, they did. But what I will say is Coach Nat Hurst did an outstanding job of making adjustments and trying to disrupt or trying to get back to how they were playing and set things up to put the Lightning in positions to score or to be successful. So it was a real chess match between the two coaches. It was great to see. So, you know, sometimes, you know, the more experienced team, the team that's, you know, got a few more runs on the board, were able to come away with it. But I wouldn't be upset if I'm Adelaide here. You know, they're an exciting young team, and like I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, if they can keep the group together, you know, they could be a team that really pushes or makes some noise in a couple of years' time.
31 assists to 10 for the Bendigo Spirit today. They gave their teammates terrific looks right throughout the contest, and they were superbly led by Ali Wilson in that capacity as well. She finished with 9 assists to go with 12 points. You mentioned Abby Werung as well, and Casey Samuels in game number 150 with 13 points. Izzy Bourne is continuing her hot form as well with 16 points, and as well double-figure rebounds for Bree Turner and Jocelyn Willoughby. But overall, a pretty complete performance, as we said, by the Bendigo Spirit. Let's have a look at the games to come in just under or just over 45 minutes time.